Hello, everybody. It's just in case of American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality, Jerry Maldonado. That's me, Jerry Maldonado. He holds up the sign. He's reverted back to his romper room days, but we're back for another installment of Meatball Therapy. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
I am here, and that's in celebration of National Handwriters Day, man. Did your cat calm down before we got on the air?
He's in a cycle right now, so we'll see. During this interview, he'll come jump on my lap, and he may meow very loud.
You got to have like a National Cat Day and put that in front of the screen instead of me talking to myself, looking at myself. He never shows himself, on. The guy's elusive. Justin, you're elusive.
No, I am. I am.
You got to show that face, man. Either that or you're the most wanted. You're hiding from the post office poster. I have no idea.
No, as I've aged, I've lost my poker face. So if you say something really stupid, it'll be written all over my face.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that goes with the flow, man.
There
I'm
you
ready
go.
to go here. Let's manipulate
Let's.
the people out there in a good way, mind you.
All right. Well, why don't you get after it? Why don't you manipulate us in that way you do?
I try, man, but I always do it in a positive way. Uh, did you watch the inauguration on Monday?
I not only I did not watch it live. I recorded it and I republished it, but I did.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I didn't. I was working, but the most compelling part was when Carrie Underwood sang. Did you see that?
no, I didn't catch that part.
Well, then we might as well just close the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay.
When she was standing, Carrie Underwood, mind you, she's what, 5'3", a little bitty thing, standing in the rotunda, but all these pompous politicians all around her. And if you watch the video, you'll see them all there. She sang a rendition that literally stopped everybody in their tracks. And the sound didn't even work. The music was supposed to play for her to sing America the Beautiful. It didn't even come on. So what did she have to do? And she even said it. She had to do the old a cappella version of it. I have to say, beyond that, I mean, the only thing that tops that was the Whitney Houston national anthem at the Super Bowl. But she had those hundreds of people standing in awe. She was able to manipulate what they were thinking about for that minute that song was playing. And what I realized in life is manipulate or manipulation, basically the same word, is used in such a harsh way. It it actually it's just you taking charge. It's a skillful use of oneself. And sadly, it's been used in the wrong way. It's been used in all the isms, as I drop my pen out there, that have really hurt people. But to get what you want, just like Carrie did, she wanted the audience attention. She used her skill, her voice. A lot of us forget the skills that we have to manipulate the universe into getting what we truly desire. But to manipulate is just focusing all your energy, how to rearrange the energy that we have to bring forth what we want. And that's a skill. And this is what people fail to realize. You have to master the art of manipulating the old energy from leaving to bring in the new energy that you want to have in your life, and not thus creating what you want.
Well, I fully agree with you, Jerry. I had a history of public speaking. I wasn't a motivational speaker, but I was an after dinner speaker. So I used to what I called it was tempering the crowd. And
The old clang clang of the forks and knives, huh? I get it.
but what I liked about it, the way I always used to describe it to people that I would inspire to become public speakers it was a matter of connecting with the audience in a manipulative process of reaching into their heart, into their chest, and massaging their heart and making a contact with every person in that audience. And
Which
that
I
was,
like. I
yeah,
mean, I mean, you definitely have that in your forte. You definitely push that. I mean, manipulate, to manage or utilize skillfully. In essence, hack. That you heard the term "fake it till you make it" there, meatball. A lot of us got to manipulate that new self and constantly surround ourselves with that every day. If you can manipulate the new energy into the old energy, hence hack into the operating system of what you normally think about every day, you're going to create the most amazing things. And there was a little meatball who did that many moons ago. His name was Paul Gobels. You know that man?
It doesn't ring a bell, but
How about
tell me.
Joseph Gobels?
No, even I'm lost there. Maybe I've forgotten them, but they did not leave an impression.
Oh no! Well, you'll know when I say he was a public speaker too, but he also wore a swastika.
Okay.
And this guy was the propagandist for the Nazi Party, and how he manipulated millions of Germans when they should have been saying nine. This guy surrounded everybody with their vision. It's an awful, it's an awful example, but a perfect example of what you have to do to manipulate the old thoughts and beliefs with the new thoughts that you want to encumber in your life. You have to literally hack into the old system. This guy basically started, he's basically my height. I'm a little meatball. I stand about 5'4", 5'5". This guy knew exactly the vision that him and his his, I don't even want to say his name, but they knew exactly what they had to do. They had to surround the Germans first with radio because that was new. Everybody had one. They started with that, then basically started putting up flags everywhere. But then when that didn't work, the old brown shirts came out and made sure that you understood what they were talking about. Basically hacked into their belief system to follow their path. In essence, millions of people found out later that they were manipulated. You can do that in a positive way in your life just by understanding what you're thinking about now and focusing on where you want to go, and then literally hacking your mindset. And it's a deep conversation with self that few people like to incur. And I had to do that in that little cement block that we talk about where I used to live. I had to fake it till I make it. In other words, understanding where I am, that's fine. But in essence, in my mind, creating the reality that I want to live by. In essence, what I'm surrounded with now. It all starts in thought. People think it's an overwhelming process to transform. It's really not. It's you just hacking into your operating system of thought and your beliefs every day, and compelling and creating a compelling life that you want to live by. In essence, live by that in thought every day.
Well, you're right, Jerry. We manipulate our patterns
Oh,
to mold our
yes,
behavior.
yes.
You
I
know,
mean, go ahead.
well, if you're feeling a little under the weather, but you have to get after it, you inspire and manipulate yourself to get after it, to overcome.
Oh my goodness, you hit a high note on there, man. Patterns are killer. They can go for you or they can go against you. And basically, and you bring up a great point. Fantastic. All I did was just break the pattern. I started with the outside world by breaking my visual patterns of what I was doing every day and going by new patterns of what I wanted to create every day. And that requires a new set of thoughts because when you start that process, your mind is going to start getting used to it. You start creating new neural pathways in the old brain, which is very malleable, and it's accustomed to who you are. To manipulate the old, you have to reinstall the new on a constant basis. On a sad note, the Germans did it in a way where they literally seduced the mind. Carrie Underwood did it in a positive way. She had everybody standing at attention and didn't, it was amazing how you couldn't hear a pin drop as they were waiting for the sound to come on. She had everybody's attention. You can do that with your own life in the universe. It's you just manipulating that old person to create a new. And that absolutely starts with patterns. Great point.
Well, not only that, but once we do something positive for ourselves, we need to recognize it and start
Oh,
to
indeed.
implement it and make it part of our daily process, create a pattern of that behavior. So you could do something good for yourself, and if you don't recognize it, you're still in the same rut.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I try to reward myself as much as I can in the littlest ways, but most importantly, vocally and internally and subconsciously. Always rewarding myself, always saying how proud I am of who I've become and sharing that knowledge on my Facebook Live and with you and everything else. Not as some kind of pompous politician gloating about their policy, which is quite ironic because as they were standing at a, in you know in at attention on Monday, the next day they're in court.
Yeah.
I mean, so they go back to the old. I mean, really quick. This is what you got to realize that you can go back to the old in a heartbeat, literally in a heartbeat. But in essence, you got to change the pattern. Great point. You got to change the pattern of who you are to where you want to go. You stay in that end mentality by living in the end mentality. Your mind is going to flip over to that because it's your constant thought. Jacking some feelings, jacking some dreams, in visualizing where you want to go. The mind is going to start following that same pattern, basically putting who you are into the storehouse, the subconscious mind. Yeah, it'll pop up here and there, and people got to realize, yeah, we're all triggered by the five senses. But the way you manipulate your thoughts, and you constantly do that every day, I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Well, it is. And, one thing you and I both have in common is we both stay in the moment. We do everything we can to stay in the moment. We utilize reflection to do self-assessment, and that's part of our process, and it's part of our daily process.
Well, you bring up a great point. Again, process. You got to lie to yourself, man. You got
Sometimes.
you got to lie to you. You got to lie to yourself, especially if your surroundings aren't conducive to where you want to go. I mean, I had to lie. I became the biggest liar of my reality at the present moment because I wanted to create a new present moment. And Goebbels had a great quote. I actually wrote it down on National Writing Day. A lie told once remains a lie, but a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. I mean, that's what this little meatball knew. He knew that if he told this lie of this vision that they wanted to create, people would actually start to believe it. You got to do that with yourself. That's why they call it fake it till you make it. You
Well,
start lying to yourself constantly and telling yourself how good life will be and is right now and how prosperous you are and successful you are on a constant basis, your mind's going to install that hardware is going to become software. It's just you reprogrammed what you've been reprogrammed to do all your life. It's a complete paradigm shift of thinking. Paradigm is a complete change of thought in your process of doing it. When you realize that, man, you're going to start seeing the synchronicities to match it, which we're already doing now.
well, and we witness it every day. We just witnessed it in an election process where they kept telling us how good we had it and how we needed to believe what they were telling us.
I think Goebbels is turning in his grave now.
Yeah.
They're like, what happened? But you're right. Go ahead.
And then we look at the officials in California, and they're sticking to their song and dance, uh, and I guess they're questioning how stupid we are to buy into what they're saying.
You and I are very vocal
Yeah.
on the media because we have a lot of experience in it. We've been in it for a long time, and we know the objective. And if people want to grasp onto it, that's fine. I respect that. People are still wearing masks for crying out loud. I mean, they've taken the bait. That's fine. That's fine. But when it comes to yourself, don't believe what you're telling yourself if it's negative. Don't believe that you're not good enough. Don't believe that what you are right now is who you're going to always be. You can reprogram that. Everything starts within. Your success starts within. Your failure starts within. When you realize that you're the starting point, which is just your thought and belief about yourself, you can make up any story, man, and live by that. Ask any rock star. I mean, they've been on stage 1,000 times before they even went on stage. You start utilizing your visualization, your imagination on a maximum level, and keep telling it what you want to be. Keep asking, and you're going to keep receiving.
So manipulation matters.
Indeed, absolutely. You got to master it and don't use it in a negative sense. Use it for the positive to create a new mindset. Keep telling yourself who you are, who you truly are. People are so afraid. I mean, we got the keyboard critics out there, man. They're like everywhere. I'm lucky I don't receive that on America's Mentor. I see it on your channel sometimes
Yeah.
because you go into politics, once in a while there, Meatball, and it really irks people, and I get that. I don't like dealing. It's that keyboard critics are people based upon. I was actually wanting to do opinions tonight as a show topic, but manipulation is more powerful because we're working with ourselves. I mean,
Yes.
our biggest enemy is ourself. It literally is. We are the creator and destroyer of our lives, and people got to realize that. So, how you manipulate energy, you can do it in your favor for you, or you can destroy yourself with it. Manipulate yourself in a positive way. Realize the power that you have, and you're going to create the most amazing life little by little.
Oh, absolutely. And we're talking about self manipulation, not about manipulating others, and use it to build your process for where you want to go, as you would say.
And it's not selfish. People have selfish all backwards. Selfish is not how you live, but telling others how to live. You
Yes.
start creating your own life. That's self-love. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you keep telling yourself who you are, and you keep showing the world who you are. You're giving the energy out there. You can only re-manifest what you're giving out. You're getting your own positive karma in the most beautiful way.
Well, and that's why you and I are both cognizant of we're not preaching, we're just explaining how we go about our daily lives.
Oh yeah, great point. We're just showing others how we live,
Yeah.
and people can grasp it. They can have an opinion about it. The old keyboard critic there, Meatball, or they can try to understand it. That's what America's Mentor does. That's all I do is I'm just sharing information and doing it on a scale that I'm grateful to have. And you're just sharing information on the scale that you have. However way people choose it, however way they approach it, it's totally up to you. But we are our own worst critic. Nobody knows
Hmm.
what's going on in between my left and right ear, just like with you and everybody out there. But when you realize what you're creating, you realize what you're attracting.
Well, what goes on between my ears is that hamster on that wheel, and every once in a while he slips and hits his head on the rung of the wheel. But
Well, in my case, guinea pigs, man.
okay, well, how are the guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs are fat. They're happy and fat, and I just keep feeding them when my daughter's not here, and they're growing. She's like, "Wow, they look so good." I'm like, "Yeah, because I keep feeding them." And sneaking the food in the middle of the night. It's like they're in prison. I'm the guard that walks by.
You
Like
clang the cage.
Shawshank Redemption. Here's a book. I throw in lettuce and everything else, but no, all is good. All is good on their end.
That's good. That's good. All right, Jerry. I think you've left us with a couple things to ponder, and I think we should.
Oh, absolutely. Don't use manipulation as the wrong term. Basically, all you're doing to transform your mind is hacking into the old operating system. You're reinstalling something that you want to live by every day. Faking it till you make it. I'm not saying go out there and spend $1 million and go bankrupt as a result. Fake it till you make it is creating the image, creating the feelings, and creating the thought process that's going to create on the outside world what you're feeling on the inside world.
Absolutely. So, everybody, this has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you Meatball Therapy. And he's writing, he's showing us, he's very proud of his note tonight, which is good. Good note. Good writing, Jerry. All right.
The penmanship is good, Meatball. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this videos. Read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.